Hello and welcome to the Cloud Sandbox, where understanding cloud computing is at your fingertips. Today, we will be discussing the 5 pillars of cloud computing. The 5 pillars are horizontal scaling, modular design, loose coupling, stateless, and auto scaling. Together, these 5 pillars help to support the cloud. Horizontal scaling is the opposite of vertical scaling, where you have one server and you keep building upon that one server. Now you have that same server, but instead you have multiple servers installed to decrease the amount of workload on that initial server. The analogy we have is when you have one truck and you want to lift this truck, so you have this one super strong guy lift the truck. The problem with this is if he breaks a leg, then he won't be able to lift the truck anymore. So now you have that same truck, but the workload is distributed across multiple workers. Just in case if one worker were to pull a muscle, then the whole operation would still be able to continue. Some benefits of horizontal scaling are that it helps to increase total server capacity, and it has more adaptability because if one server were to fail, the whole system does not crash. This helps make more efficient use of resources and servers. The next pillar is modular design. Modular design designs each different component of the system separately and tests each of the components in separate conditions. The basic idea underlying modular design is to organize a complex system as a set of distinct components that can be developed independently and then plugged together. Our analogy for this is if you want to build a house, you have each component of the house built separately, such as the body of the house with the roof and the chimney, and you have windows and doors. And so you build each of these components separately, and then after that you bring all of them together to build this house. Some benefits of modular design are that it helps to reduce cost due to the lesser customization and less learning time required. It helps to increase flexibility in design. It provides augmentation, meaning it allows you to add new solutions by merely plugging in a new module. And it provides exclusion in each component because each one is built separately from each other. Some key points to remember about modular design are that it provides simple interfaces to reduce the number of interactions that must be considered, and then it verifies that the system provides the intended function. The simple interfaces also make it easier to reuse and subdivide modules as far as usefully possible, but it doesn't divide them into such small parts that it becomes arbitrary. The third pillar is loose coupling. This is where system components are not intertwined and have the least possible overlap with each other component. Separate parts can be freely evolved without distractly affecting the whole entire system. The analogy we have is if we have an epidemic and somebody happens to find the cure for the epidemic, before you would have to go to each individual person and cure them by themselves. Now we have that same epidemic and the same cure, but the person has created a source where you can go to the source and put the cure, and now everybody who's sick can go to the cure and become cured. Some benefits of loose coupling are that it's easier to exchange software parts, you can reuse elements, and thus you have a more flexible system of using different components. The fourth pillar is stateless. Stateless means there's no record of previous interaction. Therefore, each interaction request has to be handled entirely on information that comes with it. In this analogy, the United States is divided into different components, which are different states. The United States is not one big stateless, but rather is considered stateless because the different parts are separated out and work independently. Each state has individual tasks or specialties, such as orange farms in Florida or apple farms in Washington state. Together, they work to make up the United States, yet are individualized. So here you can see all the states together work independently, but together make up the United States. Some benefits of stateless are that it helps to reduce the amount of memory used because past interactions are not remembered. Therefore, not as much memory is needed. You do not need to consider past history so that the system is simpler and more easy to work with. Autoscaling is exactly what it sounds like. It's a method in cloud computing that ensures the number of servers is automatically scaled. Basically, as server work increases, servers are automatically turned on to handle the workload. With decreasing the server workload, unnecessary servers can be shut down. So the analogy we have is that during rush hour, there are more trains to help handle the congestion, to help people get to places much faster. But during off-peaks or at nighttime, there are fewer trains, so this helps to eliminate unnecessary trains and costs. So some benefits of autoscaling are that it helps to save resources by reducing the number of servers when unneeded. It also automatically handles situations when servers are overloaded and therefore will not be able to crash as easily. To wrap up, here are the 5 pillars and each of the analogies we've created for each pillar. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.